Andor. Overall, I think it's like actually a really good show. I enjoy it. I think just my only downside is that, yeah, there's just a lot of episodes that nothing really happens. It's like really slow. So I think if this was either kind of like what I'm saying about other shows, if this was just like, 2.5 hour movie or just like a 6 episode series, I think it would have been really compelling just because, there's, especially like I'm just gonna go on to full spoilers. Yeah, there's just like some episodes where like, they're playing the heist and everything, where there's like episode like 4 or 5 and, nothing really happens, it's like, you have like kind of this compelling ending at the end of episode 3, and then, by the time you get to episode 4 and 5, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, now we're kind of walking through the forest, or, making this kind of like wooden diagrams of what we're going to be doing. I don't mind that in episode 4, have that transit. But then episode 5 is like, okay, we're just going to walk to the actual Imperial Bank. We're just going to like walk up to it and then, look at it. And then in the next episode, we'll have the heist. So yeah, that was just like, this really could have just been, like 6 episodes. You can have like those first 3 episodes just be 1 episode, and then kind of go on from there. Have episode 2 and 3 be the heist, and then episode 4 and 5 can be, the jailbreak. Episode 6 can be the finale that we have. I guess like my biggest criticism is that, sometimes it just doesn't really feel like a Star Wars show. It just feels like, just like a really cool just sci-fi show. I talk to my friends about this a lot, and like they're just like we get super excited, like, oh, it's Stormtrooper, oh, a TIE fighter, and then it's like, okay, now we're just walking through the forest talking, or now it's like, oh shoot, the Imperial Senate, and then okay, now we're kind of in this kind of flying taxi cab, or at this like, this formal dinner just talking, like, oh, okay. Which, obviously I don't mind there being like politics in Star Wars and everything, just to kind of see how the rebellion formed, how the Empire is all, reigning over the galaxy, and kind of see how these different characters kind of go from their kind of disparate situations and kind of join into the fight, either join into the fight to, take down the Empire, or to kind of like, build the Empire up and everything. So I thought that was really cool. It was just, there's just, yeah, just a lot of just moments where it's like, okay, nothing's really happening. I don't mind dialogue scenes, but can we get some more action here? Yeah, those are my overall criticisms for the show. But yeah, to kind of like jump into the finale, I thought the finale was like incredible. This is a show that I've been wanting to see. Kind of, we're finally starting to see, these kind of like, people who are under, this imperial reign, rise up. It really, kind of gave me kind of like Hunger Games vibes, or like, like Les Mis vibes of, like these kind of like, the people who are kind of under the oppression of the Empire, finally rising up, fighting back, starting a rebellion. The Marva, Andor's mother's character, it's like, we're going to have a reckoning on our hands. And it's like, yeah, we're finally starting to see it. Andor finally joined the fight. He really like lost everything. He lost his mother, his friends were in danger, but he finally got them out of danger. And it's like, okay, I got the people that I love out of harm's way, and now I can finally join the rebellion with Luthen, and join the fight, and hopefully they'll meet up with Saw Gerrera's character, and kind of go from there. But yeah, I'm excited for this show. Like, again, like if this was just like, like a 6 episode series, I kind of take back what I said about earlier. I don't think this would have worked as a movie. I think this would have just worked better as like a 6 episode. It's like every season is like 6 episodes or something, instead of like 12 episodes, because I feel like the show really dragged on a lot. Even like with like the prison stuff, where Andor gets sent to prison, it's really just showing like the prison life, where it's like okay, I'm showing the prison life, and I don't like it here, and I think we should escape. Nah, we'll just stay here for another 30 cycles and everything, and then finally they have some initiative to finally break out. And episode 10 was definitely one of the highlights for sure. One way out. Like, I was just cheering for those guys when they were like, jumping off the side of the building into the water and everything. And I felt bad for Andy Serkis's character. The fact that he couldn't swim. I thought that Andor was gonna like grab his arm, and they're gonna jump off together, and he was gonna like swim away and everything. But yeah, obviously that didn't happen, and we didn't really see what happened with his character. Hopefully in season 2 we'll see more of him. But yeah, honestly, I thought he was way better in this series just as himself than he was as a CGI, Snoke character in the new trilogy, the sequel trilogy. But yeah, it was cool kind of finally seeing, Andy Serkis, without the little CGI dots on him, and just see, because he's an incredible actor. So just seeing him, just as himself in this universe was really cool. But yeah, those are really like my overall thoughts of the show. I'm excited for season 2. I'm glad that we finally got, like a rousing ending to this series, because there were moments when I was watching where I was like, I think I kind of just want to stop watching. There's not really much happening. It was kind of like how I felt with some of the other Star Wars shows, minus Mandalorian, kind of like Obi-Wan and Boba Fett, where like, where it's working, it works, and then when it doesn't, it's just like, nothing's happening. But yeah, overall, I think, like, it has like the best acting, best writing, best like production design, one of the best visual effects. It's up there with Mandalorian in a way. And if you take out the Star Wars aesthetic, it could just really just be like a compelling just sci-fi show about like politics and like the rise of a rebellion. So I think in that aspect, Tony Gilroy, the showrunner, is doing good. I know there's reports that he's not a Star Wars fan, which you can kind of tell. He's really just telling like a science fiction version of Game of Thrones with just some Star Wars little crumbs in there for us fans. But yeah, so I'm excited for season 2. I'm hoping that we kind of get more Star Wars lore in there. Can kind of show more of those missed opportunities, like show more of the Imperial Senate, kind of like the dissolving of the Imperial Senate. Oh yeah, and that tease of the Death Star at the end of this episode, again, spoiler alert, where you see like they're in the prison kind of making the little bits and pieces for the Death Star, which I had theories about, and I watched the YouTube channel Star Wars Theory. He had theories about. Now it's finally confirmed. So that's really cool that it wasn't just that they didn't go this prison planet for nothing, to the fact that they were actually using the pieces for the Death Star, and the fact that once your prison sentence ends, they just send you to another level and you continue on your prison sentence, and the people don't like know about it, or else they'll get fried, which I thought was really, really cool plot twist, and the fact that the aesthetic of the prison, where you step on it and they can just like press a button and you can get electrocuted or fried or whatever it is, which was really cool. It's like, oh shoot, how is Andor gonna get out of this? But like obviously he did in one episode, which I was surprised by. Or like the episodes leading up to it, it's just like, okay, like we hate being in this prison and it's terrible and learning all these twists, and then suddenly in all these episodes, in the episode 10, like we planned the heist and we're gonna break out. So I was like, oh, we could have done that 3-4 episodes ago, but oh well. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for season 2. I'm glad that Andor's finally in the fight, and that we can kind of get more connections to Rogue One. Maybe get more Mon Mothma, more Saw Gerrera, more founding of the rebellion, and yeah, just kind of plant the seeds for what's going to happen in Rogue One. Yeah, I'm excited to see Andor, his character arc, because he was really surprising in this story. I was surprised to see like how kind of roguish he was, where he just killed those 2 officers in cold blood, and he was always on the run. He was always like backstabbing people, or like betraying people in a way. He's kind of in it for himself, and then he realizes that it's like, I can't be on the run. There's this empire is taking over my homeland. My mother was passed away due to all this, and her whole dream was to like kind of have that spark of the rebellion, fight against the Imperials. And now he's like, no, I'm all in. I'm gonna fight this empire. I'm gonna bring it down. And yeah, now I'm excited to see him finally getting together with K2SO and having that whole relationship, being on Yavin and being in the heart of the rebellion, and then taking those steps to finally take down the Empire once and for all in the events in Rogue One. So yeah, overall, this is like a really good show. I'm excited for the next season. There were a couple episodes that I could have done without, and it would have been nice if it was just like a shorter season, just more serialized, self-contained, faster paced. So I hope for season 2 that they kind of take the criticism to heart for the hardcore Star Wars fans, and just have kind of like pick up the pace a little bit. Have more Star Wars tie-ins, more Easter eggs here and there, instead of having it in Luthen's shop. But that's for another time. Just kind of continue on, the rise of the rebellion and the fall of the Empire. So yeah, I'm excited for season 2, and definitely recommend this show.